Okay, as back here, what did I say before? I started a live a minute ago and I said, oh, okay, now you've come into this space where you're awakening. You're opening up your mind. You're having this experience of growth, right? You're headed into your experience of life in another way. Your family saying things, making you feel a certain way. Acknowledge that they don't know shit. Just accept it. It's okay. They actually do know something. And the wisdom's coming through them, but maybe our ability to receive the wisdom that your parents have been calling in and wanting to share with you has not been digested properly. You haven't come into phase to where that everyone that's speaking to you is a teacher, including your parents. So not just your parents, your family, right? I would encourage you not to throw out the baby with the bathwater. It's a very funny term, but it's really saying there are jewels. So if you're someone who by chance has been able to take notes, or you keep a journal, then you get to come back. You get to circle around and you can look at the wisdom that they shared. There's a lot of things that you pick up in the meantime. Now, this live right here, right now, is for myself and my brother, Main Source. We're going to get into topic. I'm going to bring him on. Let me invite you, my brother. And could you do me a favor and request to come on the live? I need to receive a request from you. And for those of you who are tuning in, it's going to be a short 10 minutes. But what we're speaking to is your body. There we go. We got the request. And I'd like to introduce you and welcome you guys back to my brother, Jermaine Source Bly. Jermaine, can you hear me okay? Can you see me?
I can hear you, man.
All right.
I can hear you, man.
Great to have you on. So I was telling everyone about, and I don't know if you remember the interesting topic that we're going to have for this Obsidian Soul Lounge, which is coming up. All right.
Okay.
It's called Generational Wealth and Un-Gentrifiable Health. That's
Generational wealth.
resonate. You know, you like that, right? An un-gentrifiable
Okay. The ad libs
health.
going on. Okay.
Now, what are we talking about with that, right? Generational wealth, this is us. We have generational wealth that we have yet to access. And that wealth of this body that we get to come in contact with, that we get to navigate and strengthen by some of the work that you're doing, by the work that I'm doing, by the reasons that we've come into these bodies and we've chosen to stand for, speak to echo into the future, to call these new masters in. This is not going to be gentrifiable. No one's going to move in on it. We're reversing this. You've been able to reverse in your journey. My brother had 180 days to live. He was able to reverse, someone else's decree on his life by trusting himself, by reconnecting with his wealth, which we have all around us, the abundance, coming out of what we would call being impoverished as a people, but as a human people, we're in abundance. And to be impoverished is to be put into a poverty of mind, into a poverty of body, to be moved around and allow other things, such as entities, such as different things that infect and navigate in the gut biosystem. They moved in on us while our eyes were closed. But now we're awakening, we're opening our eyes. So I started this live off by saying, hey, you begin to awaken, and your parents and your family, you feel like they're trying to pull you back. And I said, just acknowledge it. They don't know shit, but they do know something. They may not know it, but the divine is still speaking through them. So just listen and see what's important. So now you and I get to talk about, and I'm excited to just learn a little bit more about minerals and microbes, right? And when we're speaking to really mineral vibrations, micro vibrations, you're creating I know that you're bringing together, you're distilling, you're sharing, right? Because we know it's been created. We're remixing the things that have been created.
Yeah, I'm not creating. I haven't created nothing.
But
I
I would
just
say
put.
that you definitely co-create. You're co-creating with the divine source and making available to us through your unique prism, through your journey, through your wisdom and your humility and dedication to service, compounds, if I could say that, right? And things that in
Plant
vibrational things that we can ingest. And I've already had the experience that really help us to have a more truly full-bodied experience and are going to be of benefit. And this is why I rock with you. So I know that's kind of a bit of a long introduction. I want the people to understand that this is the man I respect, and I'm excited to get to work with, even at a distance, but we're going to be doing things up close. And so we have this live right now, and we'll have a gathering online, the Obsidian Soul Lounge. It's a mastery class versus master class. A master class is where someone is the master. You know, they come in with all the wisdom, which is fair. Maybe they are a master at this, right? The mastery class are where we come together as all parts of the total master, opening our minds and our hearts to support each other, to share our pieces of wisdom and also to share our concerns, and we can touch upon some of those. And so you'll have that opportunity at a donation base or even for free with us this coming Tuesday, and we'll post about it. So I'd love to hand it over to you, brother, and just, you know, man, drop let us know about the difference between minerals and micro vibrations, please.
Okay. Well, I'm glad to be on here. I'm glad you brought me on here, man. Yeah, man. So basically what we have is what I have is plant vibrations. Along my journey, I went back on the same plants that healed me. The same at the time I thought it was just, minerals or whatever the case may be. All these words, that's one thing about what we're going to be doing. We're going to be going through the maze of words. And along my journey, I went through all these words, which education makes it very confusing, because they make you you're so smart, and they make the word after the word after the word after the word, when it's simple. It's just like, just eat the plant. It's everything. You know what I mean? But they make it so difficult. And so, they make healing difficult. I mean, healing is very easy. You have to lose yourself, which is the hardest part, but it's not that difficult. As far as minerals are concerned, minerals are energy frequencies that create vibrations the human body needs for full development and function. All right. When I say minerals, I'm just saying that because most people think they know what minerals are. All right. Minerals are microbes.
Whoa.
All right. So technically, the minerals are we replenishing your gut microbial with the ancient bacteria, the ancient bacteria, because that's the problem. The problem is we're becoming depleted of the ancient bacteria. The ancient bacteria are the ones that do all this magical stuff. They're the ones that create everything. So everything you put in your mouth, something has to break it down to make it accessible. Every single person can eat something, but that don't mean your body's absorbing it. They have different words. So say, for instance, you might say, for instance, B12 or one of the B vitamins.
Sure.
They make it seem like the B vitamins are something separate. So chemically, they talk about B vitamins, but naturally, B vitamins are something different, but they run the words interchangeably. All right. So if you look up B vitamins, you just look up some stuff, they're going to send you to the store.
Sure.
All right. The store is dealing with the chemical version of it. It's not alive. In nature, whenever you deal with B vitamins, you're talking about microbes. All right. The microbes, which are like at the root of all the plants, all over the plants that have the symbiotic relationship, those are the same microbes that are in your stomach. Those are the ancient bacteria. When you have to replenish those. So the minerals are basically, they're prebiotic, probiotic. We've copulated numerous plants and minerals inside of where you just have one big life form, to replenish the complete body, and it creates a vibration, because these ancient bacteria also control your thoughts. They heal on the brain, everything from the gut brain axis. The gut goes to the brain. So they do everything, so it's technically not minerals. It's, if you want to use the word because you're familiar with it, okay, but it's technically replenishing your gut bacteria with certain things. Even when they check for the age of certain minerals or the age of these things, they're looking at the bacteria on it.
Brother,
they're not just putting a machine, they're checking the bacteria to see how old it is.
I've never heard someone define that, and of course I'm now beginning my studies again, but that's the first time that I've heard minerals defined as actual microbes, ancient microbes. So that's really helpful. And then the definition that you gave at first, could you restate that? Something that you ingest that helps you to process. Can you restate?
So technically we might use the word mineral deficiency, but technically it's microbial deficiency.
Wow.
All right. It should be worded as microbe, but they want everybody to think they're separate. then
Yeah.
they want to think you're a human. But 99% of your genome, which I think is a little more, but we'll take their science. 99% of your genome is bacteria. The
Right.
other 1% is so-called human. Now they've been proving that, but they make it. You know what I'm saying? So what's happening is they're putting all these new things inside of us, genetically modified. They're not on the natural rhythm of the earth. They don't have the natural frequencies. So it's taking over, the ancient bacteria and the ancient population. Because every time we have a bowel movement, they come out. You got to repopulate them. So it's technically not a mineral deficiency; it's a microbial deficiency. So you might be eating things, but that doesn't mean your body is breaking it down and processing it. To be able to do these things. So it's no such thing as, if you take a chemical B vitamin, that's why it's side effects.
Well,
If you take a microbial B vitamin, then it does 50 functions,
wow.
besides just breaking down and into this word they call the B vitamin. Remember, they're all words. It's technically just goes back to, we're supposed to be eating these things. Our food wasn't supposed to change. This is an ancient body, but we're deteriorating it modernly. You know what I mean? With all these
Yeah.
modern new things that we're implementing into the genome. It's all, so we're just going back, retaking it back over, and I don't want to take the credit. It's just it's certain elements that hold these things, certain minerals, if you want to say, that hold certain bacteria as well. And, it's replenishment at a deeper level, so,
I think.
yeah.
I
Yeah, I don't
think.
want to get too much into the maze of words, what they do and how they break it down, but I'm gonna give an example. It could be something as simple as fish scales. Say fish scales.
Mhm.
All right, we always eat fish, but we're taught not to eat the scales. But the scales hold the most medicinal value out of
Yeah.
everything. I mean, so it holds certain things like lecithin. Lecithin is,
Yeah.
then they say lecithin get into the body and goes into choline, and they can take you through the maze of words. Oh, choline turns into the acetylcholine, and then it's good for cognitive function, Alzheimer's, memory. Why? Just eat it. We're supposed to eat it. You
So
know what I mean?
what
Like,
I'm
eat
getting
it
from you
instead
is
of getting
like,
all different.
this is amazing, and also like getting back to the simplicity. So one, I definitely feel like we're definitely talking about generational wealth and ungentrifiable health, because we are speaking to simplifying things and reclaiming what's been overpopulated, or at least honoring the aspect of us that is human. And then I really appreciate what you're speaking to, because not everyone's going to go through all the words, right? The word salad.
Yeah.
And
You got to go through
and
the
to
word,
sort
the
through,
word, the word, the
it's
word.
important, or at least to have someone. I still encourage people to do their own research, but what you find as you begin to read and you begin to at least accustom, you know, yourself to the different words that are used. Just like if you're reading law, in mercantile law, it's a different language, and the language
Yeah.
is meant to confuse you. And so, but getting back to the common part of it, the common sense is, you eat this. If it has a constructive effect on you, you need to identify that. And if it has a destructive effect, right, or even deconstructive, that's important. And a lot of these things with the other words attached to them, these things that are, they give you something incomplete, and then it doesn't affect the body in the same way. And we don't
Exactly.
know the difference. So it's a different thing to actually ingest complete
Absolutely.
substances and see how that really brings you to life.
Yeah.
So I'm really grateful to you for this work that you're doing. And
Yeah.
also, yeah, man, this is, I think I'm all right. I mean, I'm taking notes, but I can't write fast enough. Luckily, I'll save this, and
Yeah.
I'm
It's it's
excited
it's, it's
to break that down. And here's the reason why. And then I'd love to hear your thoughts. Because for the Obsidian Soul Lounge, it's not just the metaphysics, it's not just the learning about, different aspects of our biology, but then we get to really look at how that ties into our life currently, right? How is it tying into how you're navigating in relationship? Well, if you're not healthy, if you're not sane, if you don't even know about yourself and your organs, there's all type of stuff going on, and it's affecting and it's impacting your ability to have healthy relationship. It's affecting your ability to, ingest through your eyes and ears, senses, what's actually happening in front of you. And so we're making all these choices from a space of gross misconception, you know.
mhm.
So we get to
Yeah.
come back online. I'm open to your thoughts, brother. Before we close it, anything else you'd like us to know?
Um, Well, yeah. So I mean, that's just that's just a basics of what we dealing with. I would give some words of advice, to people who are trying to research their own, information. I've been there. Um, don't ever surface research. All right, dig from the word to the word of the word. All right,
Right.
never think that first surface research. You're still in the matrix. You baked chicken. You know what I mean? Like I done been there. You baked chicken because you're in the first level of the word of words, meaning remember this, every word they claim is negative also has a positive side. You know what I
True.
mean? They use the word in, but they use that language amongst themselves. So you might research and say, oh, that word is bad, but then the more you click down, you start saying, well, why does this say the same thing and it's saying something good? Because you have a natural, they make two sides. You have a natural, so say for instance, we'll use lecithin again. They'll speak about that chemically, but then it's also a natural side. So when you see the side effects, that's only applied to the chemical side. It doesn't apply to the natural side because it's all natural. It's chemical affinity. So as soon as it gets in your body, your whole body uses every piece of it. Every piece of it. Because the microbes, everything. Like, oh, I know this. Let me get every piece of it. Send it to the bone. Send it wherever. So
Yeah.
just words of advice. That's going to be another thing along our journey is teaching people how to search through the maze of words. As well. So people can start to find their own answers. But yeah, so that's a little bit about the let's not say, we can say minerals or plant vibrations, but it basically brings you back. It's in a bottle. It brings you back to the natural frequency of vibration that you should be at. Whether it's 8 hertz, nature, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
The microbes do that because that's the only thing they know. So
Wow.
yeah.
That's great, man. Hey, I really appreciate the work that you're doing, also the wisdom that you're sharing. And so for anyone who comes on a little bit later, the recap is we will be doing a workshop together. It's part of the Obsidian Soul Lounge, and it's a series. The series is called Generational Wealth and Un-Gentrifiable Health. Why? Because your health has been rolled up on, whether you
Absolutely.
know it or not. It's one thing to be moving from day to day, and that at least you feel good, you feel okay. It's another thing to be ingesting, eating foods, resting, waking up, functioning, and feeling vital, feeling strong, feeling powerful, and really just having to wind yourself down without any external substances, right? Just really feeling the life force that you've been given that can move through this frame. And so what we're speaking to are there are some things that you can do that you can incorporate into your body that your body's been craving for a long time, you know?
Absolutely.
And so now we're in that space and time that we can give it. We can get the knowledge. It can be distilled, and you still have the opportunity to get the receipts and do the breadcrumb. Walk through yourself. Nothing can replace the work that you do on your own. A book that you read on your own. It's a different experience than the Cliff Notes, even than an audiobook, but it's still yours. So just want to encourage those of you who are signing in now to go ahead and recheck out the video. And Jermaine, Mr. Source, I gotta give it to you, man. Like I really appreciate you just be dropping the bombs, bro. And so it's I don't know that anyone's speaking to this in this way. So I really want to honor, what we get to do together, and also just thank you for giving me the time and the space. I know I can be a little, hey, where you at? Blah blah. But then when you show up, it's like, oh man, what worth the wait? And we're just
Man,
talking about little bits of things. So I
hey, man,
really,
we got to get it, man.
I
Absolutely.
appreciate you. Yeah,
I
thank you.
appreciate you
Thank
as
you.
well, man.
All right. So everyone who's tuning in, and we'll both share this again, Tuesday, 5 p.m. Tulum time, which would be 6 p.m. Eastern time. Sign up. I'll attach a link when I put this in my story, or if you're curious, just DM me, and I'll give you the link. And this will be a free workshop. We'll probably go for about an hour. This is the Obsidian Soul Lounge, and this is a mastery class. In this class, we're going to talk about, again, the topic is generational wealth and ungentrifiable health. Reversing the tides by giving you some information, okay, that is well worth your time. And also, you'll have the opportunity to dig into a little bit about what you're navigating. Why are he and I doing this right now? Is because we're in the field and we're helping people who are navigating so many different diseases that they believe are incurable, right?
Absolutely.
Chronic things that have been hindering their lives that they're not even aware of, and we have solutions. And then we're in a time where, and we've been in a time where, it's not so much they're murdering everyone with a solution now, but you know, there are restrictions on how we can speak to those solutions. So it's better to jump into a private space to share, to make these things accessible to you. They're simple, might be very simple shift that you make that has an exponential effect on how you live your life, how you see, hear, feel, and then you can pass these things on to your parents. You begin to awaken, you begin to shift. Your family and your parents may be holding you back. And I said, they don't know shit. Let me rephrase that. You've awakened, you begin to shift. Your family and them, they might be saying things that feel like they're pulling you back. They don't know shit, but they do know something. So it's up to us, if we're awakening, to be able to look at what they have told us that's good, and then we go out, we learn the things as the next generation or the generation that's empowered, and then we can bring back the solutions. We don't have to force feed it to them, but we can feed it to them if it's going to help them. And there's a lot of people who are suffering right now, and so you're the solution if you're watching this page. The actions that you will take, you know, if you're connected to me, if you pay attention to what's going to happen in this next year, it's about to go up, not down, and you're invited to receive. So make good use of what I'm sharing, what my brother's sharing, and what we're doing, because we're accessible. So anything else you'd like to add, my brother?
I think you covered it all, man.
I give thanks for you, man, and I appreciate this work you're doing, and I can't wait to get another bottle of that main source. It's so
Absolutely,
good.
man. Absolutely,
Yeah.
my brother. I appreciate it, man.
Okay. Cheers to you all. Check out his page, please. What's your page, my brother? Let him know.
It's Main Source Energy. Main Source Energy on Instagram, Main Source Energy Service.
Beautiful.
And you should see the logo pop up.
Check him out. Thank you so much. Thank you for those of you who tuned in. And, you know, I'll repost this on WhatsApp. Excuse me. I'll repost this on YouTube, not WhatsApp. I mean, come on. There's enough going on WhatsApp
We
here.
can post on YouTube, man. I mean, we
Yeah,
post
man.
on WhatsApp.
And I'll send you the information. And I just thank you all. All right. Aloha.
All right, my brother.
Tuesday,
All right, Pete.
6 p.m. Eastern. DM us for the link. Join the workshop. Tell your friends. Tell your grandparents. Tell any of your kids who have a good attention span and know how to stay quiet, but will get the opportunity to ask some questions. And they can come join. How's that sound?
Absolutely.
Sounds good to me. Shoots.
Sure, my bro.
Go.